Thank y'all for your time today. During this presentation, we're going to try to explain 3 of the certifications that we required in the past year. Copies of them will be in that was upon request if anybody needs them. Try to explain what the value they hold for the district and how they increase the value of our mechanics individually. The first one is the 609 air conditioning certification that we acquired a little while back. There's a state law that requires all new school buses be equipped with air conditioning. In order to provide these services in-house, the staff must be certified, otherwise the employee as an individual and the district both could be responsible for an EPA fine exceeding $44,000 if we're using any air conditioning equipment without this certification. The certification empowered us to handle AC service internally, avoiding high contractor costs from vendors such as TAG, Waters, Empire, such as that. It's drastically going to cut down on how much is spent sending it off to get work on as opposed to doing it in-house.
So you're certified for this now?
We are currently all 3 certified, yes, sir.
Okay, all right, so I'm just gonna throw you an example. We had a bus go in the other day that fan wouldn't quit running. And when you guys unplugged, next morning they had no heat.
Yeah, if we unplugged it, it's because it didn't need to come on. Like say, probably the bearing was out in it. It doesn't need to be turned on with the bearing out, or high heat and problems like that.
It was just a few problems, but what I'm saying is, if we're getting certified in this, whoever's certified, we need to do a better job.
Well, a lot of times, if we disconnect it or something like that, it's because the part's on back order or we're waiting on a part or whatever, and we don't want it to be run until we get that part to change it out. We don't have a surplus of buses, so sometimes I have to run a bus with a problem like you're talking about, and to keep it from compounding the problem, we may disable the equipment at the time until the part comes in. When the part comes in, we fix it, right on it, get it back into service.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, the second certificate that we got was a Cummins Insight Diagnostic Certification. It allows us to accurately diagnose mechanical issues without having to rely on outside technicians again. With this knowledge, we can determine repair a problem, or determine whether repairing a problem is feasible in-house or sending it out to a dealer. That same basic situation. We're using the software that we pay, I want to say $1,700 a year to have access to. We're using it to diagnose the problem with the computer. So everything's electronic nowadays. We're using it to diagnose the problem that the computer has. It tells us what to fix, so we don't have to send everything out. Again, going to drastically reduce the amount we spend at dealers and outside sources. The third one, as everybody knows, we recently got 25 electric buses last year. Those 25 electric buses on January 31st of this year, the 12-volt system are all out of warranty now. So all the service warranty work with all the problems we've had this past year with those those electronic EV buses.
Is it worth even having them? Are we not spending the diesel anyway? Going to get these kids and use that?
What they save in electricity, they make up for in headaches. They were not ready when
You're still going to pick them up with a diesel bus, and
we're basically
you're
using
towing them with a diesel record. We're still spending the money.
Exactly, but we're tied into it for the duration of the 5-year minimum. We can't get rid of them for 5 years.
How many years was it, man?
We're unfortunately they didn't let us. Yeah, they didn't.
It's the second year now.
Yeah, we're on the second year, so we still got 3 to go.
Yeah, so
And a lot of the problem that we've had with them are now falling out of warranty. So the repair work on them can't be done in-house without this particular certification. That teaches us, I mean, some of this stuff is 680 volts. That's how everyone comes into your house. And we have to know what we can use, what we can touch, what we can't touch, disconnect, not disconnect. And I can't stress how important that knowledge is to have. We've acquired all 3 of those certifications in the past year to continue our education, working on these buses and trying to keep up with the status quo of what we're working with. This is all, some of this stuff is new to us, that we gotta know it. I wanted to touch on some other things like contract labor costs. When we send something out, runs $185 to $189 an hour. When we send it to Tag, Waters, Empire, something like that. Our mechanics are making quite a bit less than that, somewhere in the $16 to $18 an hour range. And we have currently like 38 buses that got repaired last year in 2024 that were sent out to the dealer to be worked on at that $185 to $189 cost.
How many?
We had 38 last year.
38. How many did you keep from them?
We took, that's what I was just about to say next. We had 76 in-house work orders with approximately 4 to 5 repairs per. About 305 repairs that we did in-house at very little cost to us, if any. Going above and beyond, like some of these pictures in the folder, if y'all look, we've pulled parts off of decommissioned buses to keep from having to spend $1,800 on a radiator. We had one we just put in a few months before, so I was decommissioned bus down. So we went and pulled it out of the mud, brought it to the shop, got it put in a new bus at zero cost. As opposed to, as you see it, one of the estimates is a $1,900 repair on that same bus. They repaired it, and it wound up costing us 2 claims at their time. That's it. Let's see. The estimate for those are in there. There's another estimate in there for one of our work trucks, the Ford F-350 work truck. We've got one estimate of $1,400 and one estimate of $1,200 from 2 different places to do the same work that these guys did for the cost of the parts and the parts alone. The knowledge that they have of some of the mechanical work that we're doing in the shop in-house is it's immeasurable when it comes to saving the county, the district money. Stuff we don't have to send out that we used to have to send out because of their wealth of knowledge. It's just, there's no way to even figure it. Let's see here. I hope this in-depth analysis of these certifications underscore the value and expertise our mechanics are bringing to the school district. In March of 2024, Dr. Langford expressed support for exploring a pay scale adjustment for our personnel in the transportation department, model after the scale used for the maintenance employees. That scale was, I believe it's in the sheet. First certification would have been 50 cents an hour. The second would have been $2.50 an hour, and a $5 cap on the third, which would cap us at $5 for all 3 certifications. We understand that the compensation decisions involve many considerations, some of which we're not even privy to. But we respectfully ask that y'all reevaluate and revisit this decision on maybe trying to help, get us to where we feel we need to be, where I hope everyone feels we need to be. We take a lot of pride in our work up there. We try and put a lot of ourselves into it, and it's just so much of what we do now we didn't used to do at the bus shop. It's always been a certain level of work, but since 2018 we've got some certified mechanics in there, and we're passing that knowledge on to the new guys. And even though the certifications aren't they may not be ASE certifications that took years to achieve, the wealth of knowledge is there, and we're getting a lot more work done in the bus shop since that time than we ever did before.
And what, Dr. Langford, you can express this right here, with our guys or maintenance and everything, we have built a sliding scale for those. Each certification they get, then they get an increase in their pay. And it depends on what certification it is and how valuable it is. And then,
for example, air conditioning, HVAC, that's one of the certifications. Mr. Kenny Langford has some water certifications. Joe may be able to mention
Are we holding these guys up from getting them, is that what we're doing?
No.
This has never been
Just
budgeted
have
for
never-
them to have the
just have never has
the
been
certification.
Right.
That's what they're
Never had these
requesting.
certifications prior to this year.
Well, before we get any further, just change the subject. Thank you guys for filling in the ditches for that car that went off.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem. That's some of the above and beyond that we hope shine through.
This wasn't in the budget, and then the board requested that they provide us with additional, you all, with additional information, which they're here tonight. I feel like we may try to build it in the budget so you all can make a decision moving forward.
Mike,
All right,
we do appreciate everything that y'all do, and, appreciate you going and getting these other certifications, so we can do this in our house. And, Dr. Langford will address this with the budget, and then we will go forward from there.
Thank y'all for your time.
Thank y'all very much.